one of my absolute favourite things is just to soak in some natural thermal baths. It's so nice and relaxing. And in Italy, there's loads of them. In Tuscany, there's loads. And this is one you pay for. And there's lots of free ones that we're going to go to in the next few days. I was thinking this morning about bucket lists, and first thing came to mind is like how useless they are. But then I was thinking there are some great benefits to bucket lists. There are it gives you a goal, it gives you something to look forward to, it gets you thinking, it gets you activated. You sort of like think about all the steps, how to get there. Let's say a bucket list is I want to go to the Great Wall of China. So start thinking, start planning it, understanding if I want to go on my own, want to go with other people, and so on and so forth. So it could be really good to write down a bucket list. Actually, I would even encourage you to write down 10 things you would like to do before you die, right? So that's what bucket list is. It's kicking the bucket, the things you want to do before you die. So that's why it's a little bit negative, because the time scale is based on your death, right? Which you don't know when it will be. So then it adds a bit of more stress to your bucket list. But anyway, it's a game. Let's take it as a game, this bucket list. So let's take another thing I'd like to do is, I don't know, bucket list is take a group to India with me. Or I wrote loads down. I wrote 10 down this morning, and actually I did this with my wife, and it was really interesting talking about it, and something you could do together, you know, see what points we have together, and then you can sort of plan something, or perhaps some of them are solo missions, right? But a bucket list, okay, so let's say it's very simple. It's like going somewhere to do something, to learn something, and there could be other things, right? This is a bit of a rant I'm going on, so you might have your own ideas, so please share them, right? And so the next step with the bucket list, though, is to really understand why I want to go to New York and see a show in Broadway, for example. It might be something that I've always wanted to do. It might be that since I was a kid I wanted to see Lion King, or I don't know, but if it has some more sort of meaning for you, then it already becomes a sort of soul-filled pilgrimage almost, right, to go and do this. A bucket list item might be to knit your own jumper, to start a knitting circle, or it could be to make your own wine. There's all sorts of reasons there. The problems arise with bucket lists is when we just sort of like tick them off like a shopping list. So you're zipping around the place, you're not listening to your own restlessness, you're not really listening to what your real calling is, you're not listening to what's on your heart, you're just ticking things off, and you're sharing your stories, and you're not really living them even, you're just doing them. So to go a bit deeper, you need to spend a little more time and choose things that are really relevant to you. So you can write things on your bucket list, and they can be things that that afterwards are not relevant anymore, so you just cross them off maybe. So what's on your bucket lists? What are things that you always wanted to do? And really understand why they're potentially important to you before you start worrying about how to go about it. Because how to go about it, that's how you get activated, right? Especially when you've just retired, you've got all the time in the world, you can do anything essentially. And if you're really centered on your reason why that is important to you, and people understand it, they will support you in it. So my wife this morning, she said she would like to go on a solo trip, and this is what I'm suggesting people to do, right? Go on solo trips. But it came a bit of a shock to me. I was surprised, I was like, oh my goodness, I'd be worried. But so that's why it's really important to have set in the why, because if we just like drop a bomb on somebody and say like, oh, I'm going to go take off somewhere, they might take a real offence to it. So as a game, bucket lists, what's on your bucket list? What do you think about bucket lists? Do you use them? What do you think about people that have yeah, I'd like to hear all your thoughts about it. Collect some more ideas about bucket lists. Oh, and I forgot to say, we're in this most incredible warm thermal bath water here at San Casciano Bagni. 40 degrees this water, and we've been here a couple of days just soaking, and just gets rid of all the tension and bone ache from the winter. And yeah, something I like to do is take some groups in November, do some hot thermal baths. We'll do some bucket listing. I don't know, but anyway, we're working on like it brings us alive, what makes us excited and relaxing, and community and all this.